It's a pretty day here in Tennessee. God made a nice day today. I'm gonna try to do some splitting, see what I can get done. I'll show y'all kind of what I got going on here. In the last few years I've been selling wood, I've always done them stacked like this. Comes to a rick, people around here call it a third of a cord, face cord, what have you. And it comes out to, it looks real pretty stacked. I don't think anybody argue that. And I'm getting enough totes now that I've started loosely splitting right into the splitter, and then I start throwing them in there and kind of roughly stacking them. And I've made use of what I've had because, you know, I've already cut the tops of them. I've already cut the front of them out like this right here. And I saved my cutouts. So you can see what I did here, and man, it works. It's no trouble to put them back in there. I just bend the legs just a hair. I just stick them in the bars inside there and tweak them a little bit. Stick them in there and take a piece of wood and hammer it down, and the pressure on there keeps it in. Works out really nice. As far as my math goes, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always trying to learn and do better. A lot of y'all know more than me, I understand that. But I measured using inside dimensions of these totes. It comes to like 42.5 cubic feet, 42.4 I believe. As far as the whole area, cubic feet inside dimensions is 42.4 I believe. And of course a loose cord is measured 180 cubic feet. And so that's how come I heap it over the top rails like that. And from what I've come up with, and math shows that a quarter of a loose cord is 45 cubic feet. Now I've checked this. My kids and I, my wife and I stacked it out, and it comes 4 foot high, 6 foot long. And I'll use that picture when I get ready to sell this. But Mr. Dick on Old Guy Firewood, I think he made a video recently, and that was really good information. He's selling a quarter a cord. I believe he's stacking it. So I'm liking this not stacking. We'll see how it goes when I go to selling. I feel like it'll be okay. And thank y'all for watching. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe button, maybe like, even leave me a comment if you don't mind. I appreciate it. thought I'd show y'all how far I've gotten here. That second one from the left, that tote there is the one I filmed splitting up. I've done 2 more, of course. I'm sure there's enough for 1 more. And what I'll do now is move these totes out of the way with the tractor and move my splitter a little closer and finish this up. Thank y'all for staying with me. If y'all made it this far to the end, I sure appreciate it. See y'all.